inspired to push through. Because there's a spark in you. Breakthrough or bust. Hi, welcome to Breakthrough or Bust. I'm Kaluwa, and we are all inspiring each other to keep pushing through to our breakthroughs. I actually want to start this second episode with my story. I pause because my tendency would be to wait maybe down the road and share my story, to not make this about me. But yet I also want to walk the talk. I don't want to ask others to be vulnerable and share their stories if I'm not willing to do the same. So I've decided to just kind of throw it out there right at the beginning and set the path. So I guess I'll preface also by saying, if all of the details aren't, super clear, that could be because I'm trying to respect the privacy of others. So, obviously our stories are not just us. There's other people involved in our stories. And I want to be considerate to them as well. But I'll have to say that in the last year, I would say I have really just sort of burst through all of my own glass ceilings. And it has been amazing. But man, it was a really long time coming. And it goes back, and probably truly the biggest reason is because I was in an unhealthy situation. I was not flourishing. I was, just, for me, it was toxic. And so even though I knew all of these things like, self-care and, just all of those different things that we do, mindset work. And I mean, I was doing them like crazy. Every day I had daily practices. I still do, I have my daily practices for improving myself, just being that best version of myself that I can be, getting unstuck, moving to my next level, and nothing was ever happening. It was like I was constantly hitting my head on a brick wall. And hindsight, of course, being what it is, I realize now that all of that work that I was doing was just getting me back to zero. You know what I mean? Like, so, when you're in a depleting situation and it's just like, here's baseline and you're just kind of always going down, 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 all that self-care work is just getting you back here, and then it diminishes the next day and you get it back up here. And this is why I was never getting my breakthroughs. Like I wasn't ever able to, use it to get back to, or to get up to here where I was hoping to be. And, it went on for a very long time because, as I mentioned, I'm not the only person involved in the story. So the decisions that I was or was not making didn't just involve me. And so for a long, 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 long time, I wasn't making a decision. I wasn't choosing. I kept doing that thing where I was like, well, I'll see what the universe does, That's not personal responsibility. I needed to tell the universe what I wanted to happen, but I wasn't doing it. I wasn't making the decision. I wasn't deciding, should I get out of this situation or should I stay and try to make it better? Or, I was just constantly in that ambivalent mode or trying to see, what the signs around me were showing me, and nothing happened. Nothing happened except for that little, right? It's very much like Groundhog Day, you just being on that hamster wheel. And then finally, I'd had my breaking point. I tried all the stuff that I thought I should do to help make things better. I tried working on myself. I had tried working with, other people. And then I'd finally said, enough's enough. I don't deserve this. This is not okay for me. And the way that I treat myself shows people how to treat me. And if I continue to allow myself to be treated this way, then I'm just showing people that it's okay. And everybody else can treat me this way as well. So I finally made my decision. And I've got to say, it wasn't an easy decision. And so you've probably already guessed that I decided to, break out of a relationship. And I would say that, while it was freeing on one hand, there was still the breakdown happening on the other hand. There was, worries and fears and struggles. And there's just so much, just the stress of, now taking on all of the financial and all of the burdens were all on me now. Now, to be fair, they kind of mostly were before too, but now it was official. I don't know. It was just a little different. And, there's just that feeling of sink or swim. And I just remember, those first few months coming out of it being so nervous and really I was emotionally depleted. Starting out, I was financially depleted. I had, depleted my savings and everything to really get out of the situation I was in. And so, every month when the rent is due, I was kind of sweating it. I was struggling. And so, pushing through all of that, that whole knowing that if you freak out and clench up about it, you're just blocking the energy and, it can't flow to you. So the money's not going to flow in because you're stressing out and then stressing out about the fact that you're stressing out. And it was just like this, right? So that's where I was. I was just, cold sweats, waking up. Am I making enough? Am I, and I started really diving into my self-care activities. And, for me, it was things like EFT tapping. It was meditation, energy stuff, emotion clearing. I'm telling you what, I really run the gambit with all of the stuff. And as I, kept doing that, one of the biggest lessons that I had to really embrace was letting go. And it was something that I had cognitively known for a very long time. But it still struggled with implementation. And I had to really just let go of the fears and embrace faith. And, however you embrace faith, whether it be, universe, God, a certain religion, whatever that faith is, whatever makes you feel safe, embrace that. So many times, people talk about, not wanting to see the world through rose-colored glasses. And I'm like, why the hell not? The way you see the world is your world, right? Our perception is our reality. So, start telling yourself you are abundant because you are. Just look around and be grateful for all the things and start, telling yourself, how worthy you are, and just be kind to yourself. And these were all the things that I really had to embrace. And especially after a long time of being told that I was either not enough or too much, and to just, accept that, maybe I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay, because I'm my cup of tea. And I love myself, and I am a very good person. Everything that I do is to spread kindness and love, and so if people don't like that, I just kind of have to say piss on them, and I've got to do me, right? And as I began to embrace that idea, and then embrace the faith, and knowing that, what, I've always had a safety net, you know things always work out because I stay positive. In those final moments, I always have that faith. So why am I stressing about it all the way through? Just have the faith all the way through. And so every time I'd catch myself with these thoughts about, maybe I don't deserve it, or I don't have enough, or I would quick change the thought. I'd reverse it and make it something. No, 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 no. That's old programming. That doesn't apply anymore, right? This is your new reality. And I mean, over the course of a year, it was like all of a sudden, all these things that I had been banging my head against a wall about, like trying so hard and trying to force, and they weren't happening. I'm like, why not? Why not? All of a sudden, it just ease. It was all unfolding. It was just happening for me. And I was comfortable, and I was happy in my own skin. And I just don't know how to explain it. It's so funny because it's this feeling as if everything has changed and yet nothing has changed, right? Your situation hasn't changed at all, but everything about it did. It's indescribable, honestly. But I would say the biggest thing would be just that feeling of ease in my soul. It was such an amazing feeling to have that ease. And, you know, it's a little strange for me to just tell it. It's so much easier for me to ask people about their breakthroughs and interview them and really get to the meat of the story. So, if I haven't been clear enough, please ask me questions. But the biggest thing that if I could convey to you is know that you deserve it, that you're worthy of great things, because, we are all children of God, and we are all put here for a reason. We're all here to share something. So that's a pretty big responsibility. So know that you are worthy of that, right? And the other thing is to have faith that everything that you deserve is coming. So you don't have to force it. It's happening in your timeline. It's happening when you're ready. All those years and years and years I made, or I did, of not making a decision was because I wasn't ready to make it. And that's okay too, because when it was meant to happen, it happened. Everything in its time. So you deserve great things, and have faith that they're coming. Okay, those are my two. So I hope you took something from this, and I hope that this will inspire you to keep pushing through for your breakthrough. Sending you love.